What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to recreate this animation of the Detroit Pistons logo, animating on with this glow effect, but you can use this tutorial to animate on your company logo or really any vector graphic that you want to. And the end result, I think, is pretty cool. So to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to import an SVG file into our project, which we already have the Pistons logo here. Now it's important that you have the SVG separated into layers because the first step that we're going to take is going to take those layers and create shape layers out of them. So we're going to right click and then we are going to come down to create composition from SVG, and this is going to give us three options. We want to choose the bottom one, which is as layers, each path will be imported on a separate layer. So we push OK, and we're going to get this. The first thing that I want to do here is just select everything and scale it up a bit. And then we're going to go through and we're going to clean this up a little bit. The first thing I'm going to do is just turn off the gray outline. We may or may not use that later. And then we're going to go through each of the individual layers and figure out which ones we need and which we can get rid of. And I'm going to do that just by turning them off and kind of watching what they do. We know that we're going to use all of the letters that spell out Detroit Pistons, so we will turn those off one by one. And then we're going to use the blue, and we'll rename some of these as we go because some of the red layers came in named just shape 1 through 10. So shape 1, that's going to be the top. So we're going to keep that one, but we're going to rename it red top. Shape 2 is the bottom. Red bottom. Let's see, 3. 3 is kind of just this little mess up at the top. I don't think we need it, so we're going to delete 3. 4. When I turn 4 on and off, I don't even see what that is turning on and off, so we're going to kill that. I did this before, so I know that 10 is the big central piece. So we're going to rename that one red middle. And then these other pieces we're just going to name red 1. Excuse me, red 1 through 5. So red 1, red 2, red 3, red 4, and red 5. So let's turn every one of those off. Okay, so we've got all the pieces that we need. There's one more step we're going to take, and this will make sense toward the end of the tutorial, but we're going to duplicate all of the letters that spell out Detroit Pistons. So we're going to highlight all of those and press Command or Control D to duplicate them. Don't do it twice. I just did it twice. Let's just undo all the way. Okay. Select all of them, Command D, and then we're going to take those duplicated layers and move them to the very bottom. Okay. The dirty work is out of the way. Next, what we need to do is currently what we have is a bunch of shape layers that are created with fills. And other than the letters that spell out Detroit Pistons, we want all of these to be outlines. So what we're going to do is we are going to start one at a time. Let's start with the blue ball here. The blue outer portion of the ball. And we're going to come up into the inspector, and we're going to right click on the shape section, and we're going to add a stroke. It's going to look a little crazy at first, but what I want to do is come to my fill and click on the color so that I can copy the hex code from the shape that was imported. And then I'm going to just delete the fill. Come into the stroke and paste that hex code in. And then I want to come in and make this stroke width something around a 2. I think 2 looks good. And we're going to do the same with all of the red layers as well. So we're going to come into the red top and add this stroke. Copy the color. Delete the fill. Paste the color into the stroke and make the stroke a 2. Oops. So let's just rinse and repeat for the rest of these. I'm going to do the middle last because we're going to, well, actually, no, let's do the middle next. So in the middle and all of the layers that are named red 1 through 5, we're going to change one setting. So if we add a stroke, delete the fill because we've already got the color copied, and then we come in and paste it. Turn it on so we can see it. When we make this a 2 in width, you can see, especially on the R right here, that things look just a little bit wonky. And that's going to be the join style. So we're going to change that from miter to bevel, and that should clean that up. And we're going to want to do that. We don't need to do it on the top and the bottom layers, but we're going to want to do that on red 1 through 5 as well. So let's just go through real quick and repeat these steps for the rest of the layers. Again, we want to change on all 5 of these shapes that the join style to a bevel. Let's just turn all 3 of them on. All right, so it looks like we have a little bit of a problem here. The P, the O, the R, and the O all have this wonky. That's because we didn't change the size or the stroke width. So we need to go into each one of those and change the stroke width down to a 2. That one's already a 2. Whoops. That one we left the fill. Okay, so now we've got the base set up for the animation. We're going to start by setting the start parameter on the stroke to a 1, and then we're going to animate it down to 0 over a 20-second period. The reason we're starting the start at 1 and animating down to 0 is because I want these to animate on clockwise. If we wanted to go counterclockwise, then we could... what in the fuck? Yeah. If we wanted to go counterclockwise, then we could do the opposite. So we're going to go to the first frame in our animation, set the start to 1, and add a keyframe. And then I made this 20 seconds long. I wanted a nice long animation. We're going to bring this down to 0. And then if we come back, we're just going to leave these linear because I want a nice smooth motion from beginning to end. If we play this, we can see the blue starts to animate on. The first one comes on counterclockwise, and the next one will come on clockwise. Now we're going to copy these keyframes. So if we come to our blue ball layer, press U to reveal the keyframes. We're going to copy them. If we hold down the Shift key and move the playhead, it'll snap to that first keyframe. So then we're going to come and we're going to paste this onto the top, middle, and bottom keyframes. These little pieces that are on the inside, I don't want those to start coming on right away because they'd be there before the letters actually write themselves on. So what we want to do is figure out when each one of those should animate on, and that being when the outer portion of the letter has already animated on. So for example, the O here has just now finished animating on. Let's figure out which one of these layers is the inside just by turning them on and off. Okay, it's this one. So we're going to do the same thing here, but we're going to make each one of these just a second long. So as soon as that layer has, or as soon as that letter has finished animating on, we are going to begin our animation. So we'll come into the stroke property for, or the stroke property for that particular letter internal. Set it to 1, add the keyframe, and then we'll come 1 second later and bring that down to a 0. And we're going to do the same thing for the rest of the letters. So the lower O has just finished right there. And we can copy the keyframes that we just used. Let's scrub forward. Okay, the D in Detroit just finished right there. Continue to scrub forward. The P just finished there. So that must be this one. And then finally, the R finishes right here, and we'll paste those keyframes right here. So now if we play it from the beginning, this is what we get. Perfect. So what we're going to do next is we're going to have the letters animate on one letter at a time. And the way that we're going to do that is just animating on their animating their opacity so that they fade on. We're going to offset them by probably 2 frames per letter. And we start with the D. So if I click open the layer, and you can do this up in the inspector as well, but I'm just trying to show you different areas or different spots within Autograph that you can access the different parameters. We need to go into blend mode, and that's where you're going to find the opacity. It's kind of hidden there. If you're used to After Effects, you might think it's in transform, but it's in blend mode. So we're going to set the blend mode first keyframe for the letter D to a 0. Add our keyframe. And then I think these should come on in 1 second. So we're going to go to the 21-second mark and bring that up to 100%. And this one we do want some easing on. So let's highlight both of those keyframes, right click, and then let's go to all interpolations, come up to ease in out, and I like exponential for this. Then we're going to highlight those keyframes again and copy them. Again, hold down shift and drag the playhead to snap to the first one. And now we're just going to go 2 frames at a time. So press the arrow keys to move over 2 frames, select the next letter, and paste. And we're going to go all the way across. That does not look like it pasted. It did not paste. So let's try this again. Copy the keyframes. 2 frames over, click the proper letter, and paste. There we go. 2 frames, click the letter, paste. 2 frames, click the letter, paste, repeat until we finish all the letters. Okay, so now we've got all the letters of Detroit Pistons animating on. Let's watch this back and see how it looks. Great. So now to really give this animation a luxury feel, or just give it that edge, we're going to add a glow to all of the outlines, and then we're going to also add a glow to the white letters. So the glow for the letters is going to be easy. So let's do that first. Let's turn all of the letters that we copied in the beginning on, because we want the glow just to show up behind everything else. We don't want to add the glow to the letters on the top layer. That's why we copied them and put them in the background. Turn on that gray outline. We don't need that. So we need to figure out where this last set of keyframes is for the letter S. And as soon as that one finishes coming on, we're going to give it 1 second. So we're going to come to 2302. And then we're going to fade all of the background letters on. And we're not going to notice anything at the moment until we add the glow. So let's come to the first layer. And we can actually paste those same keyframes we just used. But actually, let's just highlight all of the layers and hit paste, and that, if we check, should give us a fade on for all of the letters in the background. And like I said, if we watch this back right now, you're going to see the top layer fade on, and you're not going to notice anything at the moment. But what we're going to do is go ahead and add our glow. So we can add this to the first letter. We're going to click that shape layer. And then up in the inspector, we're going to click this flask. We're going to search for glow. And that's going to add the glow modifier. And the settings that we want to use here, There's only two that we want to modify, and that's going to be the size and the gain. So we're going to move the size up to 8, and the gain we're going to put at 2. And you'll notice just the letter D has a glow now. We're going to click where it says modifiers. Don't click on glow, but click on modifiers. Command or Control C to copy. Then select the rest of the layers, the background layers. And Command or Control V to paste. And now you can see we have a nice glow for the entire Detroit Pistons. So if we play that back, you'll see first the letters will fade on, and then the glow will fade in from behind. Of course, that didn't really happen in real time because it's a little bit processor heavy, but now that those frames have rendered, let's watch it one more time. Okay. Now, the final step is to add the glow to all of the outline layers. Let's start with the blue layer. We'll select the layer. Again, we're going to come up to the flask, search for glow. And this is where Autograph gets a little funky. When you're adding glow to a stroke, it does not quite work the way that it would with a standard shape. I don't know why. If somebody can explain in the comments, I'd love to know why. But I have found some settings that work. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the minimum highlights, and this is backwards. Normally you'd want the minimum highlights to be low and the maximum highlights to be high, but when you're working with a stroke, for some reason you need to do that in reverse. So we're going to put the minimum highlights to 1.22, and I only know these numbers because I created this once before I created this video just to get all the settings correct. And then we're going to go to the maximum highlights, and we're going to set that to 0.94. The size we want to set to 9. The gain we're going to set to 1.65. And the iterations just kind of cleans this up a little bit. We're going to set that to a 10. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did for the letters. We're going to click modifiers up here. Command or Control C to copy. And then we're going to select all of our red layers. And we're going to push Command or Control V to paste. And now we have a lovely, beautiful, glowing Pistons logo that animates on. This will not play back in real time, but I've already got it pre-rendered so you can see it playing here. Post a comment with a video of a logo that you are animating using these techniques, and let's see what you've come up with. If this was helpful for you, please smash that like button. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more tutorials for Autograph and other motion graphic and video software, please subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.